Alright, I will say this. I did have a total drama phase when I was growing up. Boy, it was, it was bad. I mean, back then I was into watching something called Total Pokemon Island, Total Brawl Island, and you can't forget about that Battle for Dream Island. Oh, God, what was wrong with me? Total Drama has been through a lot since its island days. Sometimes for the better, other times, yeah. This might be one of those times. Good morning, everyone. My name is Jason Blade, and this is my first impressions of Total Dramarama. So first off, when I heard that this was going to be a thing, I automatically thought, why? I mean, sure, there are plenty of shows that have been through this phase that had some success, like A Pup Named Scooby-Doo, Baby Looney Tunes, and a Rugrats all grown up. The thing is, though, the shows that preceded them are considered pioneers in the animation industry. I'm not even sure if the TD series is like that entirely. The show has an amazingly large fan base, but I don't think a lot of the people would consider this show to be one of the greatest of all time. What also doesn't help is that the TD series is a parody to reality TV. And usually those shows are extremely edgy, and the personalities are not suited for 5-year-old children. So, again, why? Even with my skepticism being at an all-time high, I was willing to give it a chance. It's not me to shut something down from just a few snippets and previews. After watching it, the feelings are more of the same. Even though it's a reboot technically, I can't say it's necessarily the same as other reboots we've seen recently. The main reason why I say this is because the style is still the same as the previous incarnations, and most of the designs are the exact same outside of the whole age difference situation. The same can be said for a lot of the personalities as well. Even though they are more childish, they still found ways to keep the same charm that many Total Drama fans can recognize. Outside of Gwen anyways. I bring these points up mainly because that has been the main complaint for a lot of these reboots from our generation. For the past few years, a lot of rebranded shows had a lot of mixed responses due to the drastic style changes compared to the original. Not sure if Fresh TV was aware of this fact and made sure not to go bold design-wise, or they just didn't bother to do that many changes. Either way, the style and the designs of the characters should really be the big issue here in my opinion. Another positive note is that the length of the episodes is looking to be much shorter compared to seasons prior. Not saying that the length was an issue for the series, it's just for this type of concept, 23 minutes of kids running around going nuts would drag on way too much, and would even be more of a pain to watch. Anyways, I'm rambling too much. Let's start diving into the episode, shall we? The episode begins with Owen running around trying to get everyone's attention to announce that he won a toy from the Toy Crane Prize Surprise.
Toy Crane Prize Surprise!
And it cuts to Courtney talking to the audience about her opinion on the subject. This is most definitely a feature that was placed for the nostalgia aspects of the show, giving us a reminder of the confessional portions of the TD series that can be very entertaining to see. I do like how they replaced the static screen and sound with a quick flash and cute pop sound. This addition really works with the theme they're going with here. It's short, it's cute, and a bit random, which we'll definitely see a lot of here. After the emo stats from Gwen, Owen announced that he won an Uber ball and said that it cost him $78 in quarters, which is a crap ton by the way. They then showed a montage of Owen trying to get... Bruh, hold up. Total Drama, I'm about to get you. How dare you try to disrespect the quality of the Switch with this bootleg screen box? I bet the games it has is just some half-baked version of the Sonic Happy Meal games. Jeff Skateboard head ass. You think this is Nintendo Switch? Nah man, this is the Dramarama shit. Noah then warned Owen about what Chef does when kids bring their toys to the daycare, which leads into another montage of Chef confiscating toys that were brought from home. Just from the few minutes alone, you can tell that there are many transitions to the point where they're tough to keep up with. Even though I have said in a prior video that showing is more preferable than telling in my opinion, too much can really drain a viewer quickly. there must be some sort of middle ground when it comes to explaining what happens or what could happen in a scenario. While understandably it's supposed to be a comedy, it just seems like they're trying to get a cheap laugh from the viewer from these random scenes, and it just comes out as poorly executed in the end. Duncan, being the juvenile of the group of course, retorts Noah and tries to convince Owen to play with it, even though he already knew what the outcome will be. This caused Owen to be left with a dilemma of whether or not he should. He ends up bouncing the ball in the end, and it immediately caused mayhem. The ball was then caught by Chef, and Owen was ratted out quickly for bringing the ball with him. There's not really much to say about this scene. This type of scenario is very cliche. I do like how they interpreted Duncan's opinion to make it so obvious that it is the wrong choice. Plus, the ball itself really betrayed how chaotic the show can be for the better, or for the worse, depending on the person. We then transition into Chef's office, where Chef is taking the time to literally show the kids the code to open the toy stash. Like, seriously, how the heck are you going to crack this open right in front of the children you're trying to prevent from opening? It's like me yelling out my bank account information at a gas station. The kiddos were amazed by the amount of toys that were stashed in the vault, and gave Duncan a plan to use the situation to ditch the daycare. I'm really digging this version of Duncan. Considering what he is known for when he is a teenager, him being the con artist trying to escape confinement is the perfect character for him. Since Heather doesn't seem to be included in this cast, someone had to be the main troublemaker, and Duncan makes perfect sense. Duncan proceeds to deceive the other children to work together to unlock the safe to retrieve Owen's ball while keeping his true intentions under wraps. Their plan includes going through the vents, Izzy putting the padlock code, and Duncan using Chef's eye. How did he... Okay. Duncan also elected Noah to keep Chef distracted as the plan is in motion. Courtney volunteered as tribute to do the distracting job instead, but was shut down immediately with Duncan's iconic line, "No dice, princess," due to her being a tattletale. This scene can really be a hit or miss depending how you look at it. While I do think this is the kind of scene could work well on paper since it gives the audience a chance to cool down and digest what's happening in the episode, execution wise though, yeah, it's really awkward to watch. It feels like it drags on forever with the kids sitting around or doing something random for random's sake. I would have preferred a scene where Duncan explains the plan while it's in motion for the viewers. This way, it would have given us a bit more of an adventure feel in this segment. Basically just merge this scene and the next one that shows the plan in motion together to have a more intriguing experience. After successfully opening the safe, the kids began to start playing around with the toys they reunited with. While doing so, Duncan made his move and ditched the rest of the daycare attendees to escape, taking the map with him. Meanwhile, in the play area, Chef walks in wondering where the kids are, and Noah swoops in for the stall. He tells them that they're playing hide and seek, but finds it difficult to find anyone. Chef then said,
"Oh, don't be so hard on yourself, Noah. You're bad at lots of things."
You know, there is a time and place for everything. This was not one of those times. And at least it can't get any worse.
Let's make a list. We'll put a gold star for all the things you're good at and a sad cat sticker for what you're bad at. Let's start with things you're bad at. That'll be easier.
God damn it, Chef! Back to the kiddos. They proceed to try and find a way through the vents back to where they came from. Side note, their laziness or budget cuts are really showing in this bit, as we're introduced to the video game-like scene again. When all seemed lost, it was Owen's nose and love for pizza to help the kids find their way out. As for Duncan, he was able to weasel his way to the roof, and he prepares to make his way down with the tools he got from the safe. I almost forgot. I wonder how Noah is handling Chef right now.
And you don't always make it to the bathroom in time. Should that be a sad cat sticker? Yeah, because it's kind of gross.
Anyways, Duncan was inches away from freedom, but a malfunction occurred that caused him to get tied up and be in Chef's sights. As for the other children, Owen somehow gets stuck on something and the others, not paying attention, bumps into him and gets stuck as well. Okay, so here's my issues with both of these scenes. we didn't actually get to see what happened to cause these malfunctions. I could be wrong here, but what exactly caused the tape to give out and bounce back up? If it ran out, I would have assumed that the tape would snap off at least. And for the vent scene, I'm not entirely sure how Owen got stuck. You can argue that Owen got stuck due to the size of the vent shrinking as seen here. However, assuming that they're trying to get out the same vent they went in, Owen would have been stuck the first time on his way to the safe. There really isn't enough concrete evidence to really know what happened, so it would have been nice to show a little more. After bringing in a tied up Duncan, Chef demanded Noah to get the kids out of their hiding spots. Then, right on cue, shortly after the truth was discovered, the Uber Ball made its final appearance to create uncontrollable chaos. It caused the entire daycare to be destroyed, and that was Venthalla, the first episode of Total Dramarama. Overall, I thought it was alright. It didn't necessarily fall flat on its face immediately. There are some things people can enjoy, like some of the nostalgia bits that occurred, and how the younger versions of these characters are being portrayed. However, there are some glaring issues here. The biggest one for me is the pacing in general. Oftentimes, it seems like the episode was all over the place, while in other moments, it tends to drag on a scene for too long. There's no real middle ground. For my first impressions, I think it would be alright to watch if there really isn't anything else that interests me at that time. If it's on, I wouldn't mind it. But I wouldn't be trying to stay up to date or be excited when a new episode drops. The episode will officially be released on air on September 1st this year. If you really want to watch it and have one of the listed service providers, you can watch it on the Cartoon Network website right now. Thanks for taking the time to see this review. If you would like to see more, click the subscribe and bell icons to get the latest from me. If you have seen the show and would like to put your take on it, you can do so in the comments section below. Until then, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.